If you've ever looked around a garden and thought, I literally do not know where to begin, or if you've ever thought to yourself, I would really like to become a gardener or get more into gardening, but I also don't know where to begin, then this video is most definitely for you. I was thinking about it recently. Gardening has been part of my life for so many years, since the age of, I don't know, 9, 10. And everything that I've done has just gradually been learned over time. And I thought to myself, well, actually, there must be a lot of people out there that really are interested or want to become a gardener or learn more about plants, but it can be a very, very intimidating process and journey. So in today's video, I really want to just break it down in terms of where to start, what to think about, what not to worry about, and really make a series of bite-sized, digestible videos where you as a beginner gardener, or indeed if you are very experienced and you just want to feel confident that what you're doing is most likely correct, if there is such a thing in terms of gardening, then this video is definitely, and the videos in this series will definitely be there to help you along the way. I think it's important to think about what gardening is, and the truth is, it's a personal thing or concept for every single person that has the interest. It's not necessarily a science. It's not only an art form. It's not only a way to express yourself, but indeed a combination of all those things. So gardening for a very experienced person 20 years down the line will be very different from someone who's been growing for 2 years. And that will be very different to someone who's actually a landscape architect and wants to garden. So it's a personal journey. And I think that's really important to know. There isn't necessarily a right or wrong. Of course, there are principles that help success and balance and harmony, and those things we will all discuss. But to its core, gardening is there for you as the individual to just simply enjoy. So if you think you're that person who really just wants to enjoy gardening and learn as you go, then this is already a really good place to start. It is important to try and realize that um, everyone starts somewhere. No one is born the perfect gardener. Indeed, it is a skill that you build up and refine and improve your whole life. And as someone who enjoys following influences in the gardening world, some very old, you come to realize that it is an art form that never gets perfected. And that's a really reassuring thing, because other than being a personal thing, it's also a skill that you can constantly try and improve upon. I feel strongly about the fact that gardening is best learned through observation, through trial and error, and as cliche as it is, through making mistakes and learning from them. And at the end of the day, if a mistake is made in your gardening path, nothing is really ever that bad. All you can do is try again, start again, hope for better results the next time, learn from what went wrong. It's not as if it's going to be an absolute world-changing event if a mistake is made. And that's a pretty nice thing to think about, really. So many beginner gardeners think that gardening is about growing flowers or growing many plants. And I think that's a mistake. It's not about growing them successfully, it's about getting to know them. More than getting to know them, it's about understanding plants. Plants across the plant kingdom have very similar needs if you think about it. They all require 4 basic elements. They require light, they require water, they require nutrients, and they require air. And if you think about these 4 things, of course you can elaborate for days and days on each of these, but to the core, these 4 things are what defines plants and how quickly and easily and successfully they grow. And everything about growing plants, being a gardener, working with plants, comes down to understanding these 4 principles. I'm now going to briefly speak about each of these, because I do think it's important to have a good understanding, although it's not absolutely necessary to be completely scientific about it. So at the risk of sounding slightly educational, here goes. So the first one being light. Light is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of successfully growing plants and being a gardener, because all plants need some form of light. What does light do? Light allows the plant to photosynthesize. Photosynthesis allows the plants to grow. and eventually flower. And that's why we grow plants, whether to flower or to fruit or simply to enjoy the leafy greens on certain vegetables or herbs or salads. Light is what provides that energy. So, knowing this, it's then important to understand that some plants require more light than others. I won't go into too much detail in this video, but understanding what plant prefers to grow in full sun versus what plant prefers to grow in a semi-sun or semi-shaded position, and then you do get plants that do thrive in a full shaded position. That's as much as I'm going to talk about light. The next one is air. We all need oxygen to breathe, and so do plants. So some plants are, of course, adapted to being in environments where the air is very little. Think about mangroves and where the roots are in water. But as a gardener, most of the plants that you're growing will definitely require oxygen. And so it's important to realize that the roots need oxygen, that there needs to be airflow around the plant, because if that's not in place, these plants will start showing you certain symptoms of disease and certain symptoms of wilting and rotting. And these are all things that we can speak about as well in the future videos. The next element is, of course, water, 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 water. Just as we need to stay hydrated, plants do too. And I think this is something that a lot of beginner people and even experienced gardeners really struggle with. How much water to give, when to give, how does water work? And the questions just go on and on and on. In essence, all seeds, all plants need water, and it's just refining how much to give. Not too much, because then plants will rot and also be very unhappy and most likely die, of course, and too little, especially in hot weather, and plants will wilt and die and dry, and so therefore the balance is essentially what you need. Is there a recipe? Is there a formula? Is there an app to tell you exactly when to water? I mean, there are some points of reference, there are some indications that you can follow, but it really comes down to looking, observing, and understanding the plants. And again, this links in with trying to understand plants more than absolutely memorizing them or knowing them in order to succeed. And the fourth element is nutrient, and or are nutrients. And now, just as we need feeding and food to thrive and survive, so do plants. And most of the time, plants are able to get the nutrients that they require from the soil or from the potting mix that they're growing in, or in the hydroponic system that they're growing in, which means they're growing in water. But as the gardener and as the artist, you need to be able to provide those nutrients. These are some basic concepts. We'll go into more detail in the next videos about nutrients, but just understand that plants do need nutrients, they do need food in order to absolutely give you their best performance. Now that we have those basics covered, let's talk about plants and plant names. This is something that I really struggled with for a long time when I started gardening. I thought it was absolutely necessary to know as many names as possible, to memorize them, to try and understand the Latin names, and as a whole, this becomes a very overwhelming process. I would say it is much more important to try and identify patterns in plants, and over time you will automatically get to understand their Latin names, you'll understand their naming, why they're named the way they are, and it just enhances the entire process rather than overwhelming it. Names are there for a reason, of course. It's when people speak or when scientists talk about and write about plants, it really helps. And certain families give you an idea of where they grow and what they are best at doing. But for now, I would really say just start small. It's much better to really get to know 5 plants, just 5, rather than going out there trying to buy or to sow the seeds of 50 plants or 20 plants, because that becomes really overwhelming. 5 plants is all you need. Start getting to know them and start building your knowledge base up from there. The next thing that you want to be thinking about as a beginner gardener is the language of gardening. And a lot of these terms and concepts I will be covering in a lot more detail in the future videos. So do make sure that if you find value in this video, to like the video and to please subscribe to the channel so that you can tune back in when I release a video, which is on average once a week on a Saturday, to really benefit the most from this series of beginner gardening. And so some of these concepts I want to talk about are words that you will hear as you become more of an experienced gardener and as you start learning more about gardening. And it's things like annuals, perennials, what are shrubs, what does evergreen mean, what does it mean when it starts budding, what does grafting mean, how to propagate, things like this, bulbs, compost, tubers. I know it sounds like a lot, but really when you take it in small digestible units, it becomes more fun than anything else. So don't worry about this now. Just understand that there is a language to learn, and over the course of this series, you will learn a lot more. Take notes as you go and really, really dive into the excitement and the world that is plants and gardening, because there is a lot to learn, but do it at your own time. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen, and certainly one I've made many times, is thinking that your first garden is going to be perfect. Unfortunately, nature and plants do not work this way. Sometimes the weather is good, sometimes the weather is bad, sometimes it's unpredictable, sometimes plants behave in a certain way for absolutely no reason. And this really keeps it really exciting, but it can also be quite daunting. So just know that failures result in learning, and learning is absolutely fine, and making mistakes is absolutely fine. So before I finish off with this video, perhaps you can take this message home, and it is to observe first and do later. If you are a beginner gardener who really wants to get stuck into gardening, into growing, into starting a new garden or a patch of veg or just a pot or a container, then observe your conditions first and foremost. Notice where the sun comes up, notice where the light shines, notice where there are pockets of damp or perhaps indeed pockets of dry. Perhaps where you are trying to grow a vegetable bed, it is very shady. So really observe, and if you live in a part of the world where the seasons are very defined, you will definitely see differences between spring, summer, autumn, and winter. For example, a part of your garden might be in complete shade in the winter compared to it being in absolutely full, scorching sunlight in the summer. So observe these things and try and understand the way you can work with nature, not against it, to really get going with your plants. Also, take notes as you go along. Observe what makes seeds germinate better. Perhaps you've covered your seeds too deeply in compost. Again, this is something we will talk in the next videos. How light affects them coming up. And if you've, for example, perhaps forgotten to water them, how has that affected your germination rates or your young seedlings? Have they died after one day of not being watered? And then if you are already growing, start observing, when do they flower? How do they look when they go from growing normally to growing and changing into producing buds? Because you will see differences in plants. And if you are diligent or that interested, take notes and observe the differences over many seasons. This would be my number one tip for you today. If there's one last thing I'd like you to take home today, it's this. Don't think that gardening is about having all the answers. No, instead, let it be a journey and a process that makes you more curious, to observe, to learn, and to enjoy seeing plants grow, seeing plants die, seeing plants flower, and seeing plants turn into compost. Because all of this is ultimately connected, and it just makes you as a person so much more wholesome. Once you really understand the basic principles of gardening, it becomes so much less overwhelming and so much more rewarding. So I will see you in the next video, and I look forward to going into a bit more detail. The next video, we will talk about the basics of plants, grouping them into their various categories and how this affects them, and the reasons as to why we have so many different categories of plants. This will be a really interesting video, and I will try my best to keep it as simple and as digestible as possible. But until then, keep going, keep growing, and keep being curious. Bye for now.